Hey guys, it's Amy. As you can tell by the thumbnail of this video, I am doing a tag video called The Worst Luxury Buys, created by my good friend here, my gorgeous Kat L. If you guys are not subscribed to her yet, I encourage you to because I love her. She's so hilarious. You love those items, but they just hurt you or they are a waste of money because they were not wearing well, and you have those items that you're just stuck with, or you, I guess, ended up dumping or selling. The Burberry tote, Burberry check tote. I don't know if there's a name for this bag because it's been years since I got it. I got it in the patent leather with the fuchsia trims, so patent fuchsia trims, and the body of the bag is basically their coated canvas, the check coated canvas. I really love the classic look of it. Obviously, that's the reason why I bought it. I think at the time I was just seeing it everywhere and I just really wanted it, right? And I bought it, and of course I was so excited about it, and I wore it. And my goodness, after a single wear, there was so much color transfer onto the canvas because it is a light color check canvas, and it's the coated material that is really hard to wipe off, because there are some canvas where it's still quite easy to clean and to wipe any color transfer, but for that one it was really hard. And I only wore it that once, and I think it was just rubbing against my hips because it was a tote, right? So it does kind of touch my hip a little bit. And of course I had jeans, or I think I had a black coat or something. I only wore it that once, and I saw the color transfer. It was terrible. I had to, of course, clean it, and I was hoping that it wouldn't happen again, but of course it happened again. And I bought it around the winter, so of course I had my winter coat on all the time, my wool winter coat, and it happened again. So of course I cleaned it again, and after the second time I was afraid of the bag. As much as it looked beautiful, and now that I think about it, I think it's more of a summer bag. I honestly should have treated it as a summer bag, but I don't know. I loved it. I wanted to wear it. I only wear totes in the winter because that's the only time where I need a tote and need to carry more. And so I did sell it right after that, and of course I lost money. It was a terrible buy for me. The second category is a small leather good, or SLG, and I don't know if any of the items I'm gonna discuss are terrible buys, but they definitely didn't live up to my expectations. And so the first one is the Chanel slim card holder that I got in caviar leather. I know everybody loves that one. I loved it too when I got it. It was beautiful, it was gorgeous, it was Chanel, and I just loved looking at it. And of course I use it, and after a week of using it, the stitch popped on the corner just like that, and I didn't stuff it, I didn't mistreat it. I even was using it inside its own dust bag for the first week because I was still kind of in that phase where I wanted to keep it super new and pristine. It was just, you know, my first week using it, and then it popped, the stitch popped. So I was definitely devastated and also disappointed because it's a really expensive item and I loved it. I was waiting for this Chanel piece for so long, for so many months, because it just gets sold out all the time, because I wanted it in black, and black caviar is the one that will always be out of stock. And yeah, it was just very disappointing. I had to go back in and ask for an exchange, but of course they didn't have any piece to exchange. They didn't have any in stock, so I had to get it refunded. And whenever you get a refund in Canada, in Chanel, they only give you a store credit, and whatever you buy with that store credit is final sale, so that kind of sucks. And I waited and waited, and it never came. After a couple months of waiting, I was fed up, and I bought my LV slim card holder. And my slim card holder from LV is perfect still. I love using it. It's not the Chanel piece that I wanted, but it's very functional, it's very practical. I would say that it fits a bit less than the Chanel one because the Chanel one does have more compartments, and the top compartment, the middle compartment, does sort of stretch a little bit more so you can put a few more bills and such. But what can you do? It just was a terrible buy for me. It was a terrible experience in a sense that I was anticipating the purchase for so long. I finally got it. It defected on me within a week. The third category is shoes. Honestly, if you guys know me by now, I'm not a how should I say, I am a shoe lover, but I cannot buy a lot of the shoes out there anymore because I have arthritis, and also I just can't wear heels anymore. I wear the short heel, so anything that is 2 inch or 2.5 inch is basically the maximum height that I can tolerate, and it has to be the really stable heels. It can't be the wobbly type of shoe. So I don't really invest in luxury shoes. I did buy one pair, which are the Valentino Rockstud. I honestly thought that I would get a lot of wear out of it, but I was just too nervous to try. I was just too nervous to find out whether it would work out, just because of all my issues with footwear. And so eventually I did let it go, and I don't have it anymore in my collection. So I can't really say that it's a worst buy, although for Kat it was her worst buy, because it basically gave her the worst trouble ever. And I think after hearing her story that I'm kind of glad that I didn't keep it and that I did let it go eventually. And so yeah, I guess that would be the only one that I can mention. A lot of you know that I am into comfortable footwear. Obviously, I'm a fashionista. I love dressing up, and so it's kind of a unfortunate thing that I can't wear those really gorgeous designer heels, or even just like the really gorgeous high heels out there. But I do find my way around. I do buy a lot of comfortable shoes that still look kind of stylish but still are very comfortable and practical. So my go-to brands are Ecco, Clarks, and just brands here and there that you kind of have to look at the shoe itself, not the brand itself, I guess. But brand wise, I find that Ecco and Clarks work really well for me. Obviously, not all their shoe will be stylish and, you know, very fashion forward, but you know, I go for the ones that look a little bit more dressy and look a little bit more fashionable, if that makes sense. The fourth category is a makeup or skincare item. If you guys didn't know, I'm also into very organic products and food, and so my skincare, I would say that it's 100% organic or natural. Makeup, it's 50-50, I suppose. Is it? Yeah, I would say my sort of makeup is 50-50. There are some items that I still can't really transition completely. And if you guys are interested, if you don't know yet, I did a whole video, get ready with me video, and I featured all the skincare and makeup products that I use to get ready. And I explain in depth the ones that I highly recommend, that has been just really wonderful for my skin, and the ones that I still use but they're not 100% clean, but I still use because they're effective and they still work for me. So in this category, I guess the only product I can probably talk about is a MAC product that I used a long time. So like I mentioned in my video, in my Get Ready With Me video, I used to use the conventional products and from drugstore to higher end. So I used to use like MAC, Estee Lauder, Clinique, Biotherm, I can't even remember the other ones. I used Chanel skincare at a time, and they were not all problematic, but the one that really kind of pushed my skin to the edge and just became a huge problem was one of the MAC powders. It made me break out everywhere, and it's not those inflammation type breakout, it's those little tiny bumps on my forehead. It was all over my face, but it was predominantly on my forehead, and it was those, they were not even all the white bumps, it was just those bumps that were not inflamed, but they were just bumps, and they were definitely clogged pores. And it took a long time for my skin to clear. I would say as long as a year, I think. I didn't really count, but it just was a terrible product that affected my skin. And I think it's an accumulation of everything. And I knew at that point that I needed to go green. I needed to go organic and natural. And even that journey was a long journey for me to figure out what could make my skin go back to its normal state, because I've always had normal skin. I've always had skin that was not very problematic, and I never had a acne breakout time period in my teenage years either. So the fact that it did all of that to my skin was just terrible. Miscellaneous or other categories, so it can be an accessory or a jewelry item. As you guys might have witnessed in my channel, I've started buying a lot of Chanel earrings and brooches, and I love my belts. I just love my accessories, and I love my shawls because they are very useful items that will really dress up and also be very functional for your wardrobe and your styling. So I don't really have anything that I can complain about. I will say that there was this one pair of earring. If I can find a picture, I will insert it, but it was probably the Rock and Rome collection. It was my very first pair of Chanel earrings, and it was one of those that had no studs. Sorry, I meant no embellishments on it, because we all hear that people are having issues with crystals falling off or pearls falling off or anything, so I got scared and I didn't want my first pair of Chanel earrings to be problematic. It just didn't work out for me because the post itself was very thick, and for whatever reason also we're not really allowed to try on the earrings also in store before we bought them. So it was kind of like something that I never even knew about, that even within different earrings they have the thinner post and the thicker post. So the thicker post is the one that kind of tapers from thick to thin, and for me the thick post really hurt my ears because I have very small ear holes. My skin is very tight in general. It just likes to close and it doesn't stay. Like my ear piercings, they don't stay. They just become very tight all the time. And no matter if I wore droopy, very heavy earrings, they will just go back to its tightness. That's just how my skin works, I guess. Which I guess is a good thing, but it just didn't work out for me because every time we try to wear those earrings, I would basically be stretching out that piercing, and it just was very uncomfortable. So that was a terrible buy in that sense, that it was my first time buying a first Chanel earrings, and it didn't work out. So finally, of course, I didn't wear them and I decided to sell them because, of course, I wasn't going to return them. I couldn't probably return them anyway. I didn't try, but I probably couldn't. And luckily, someone else was looking exactly for that pair of earrings and I was able to sell it. So yeah, so I guess that was my pick for this category. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and enjoyed my insights as to things that didn't work out for me, or that they did not just not work out for me, but it could be the experience itself or the item itself. And thank you so much, Kat, for tagging me, and I will tag some of my favorite people as well. My very good friends Mel in Melbourne, LV Lover CC, Cat Lux Love, let's see, Hey Chenny, I haven't seen a video from you in a long time, Nettie's World for You, Inside Sif's Closet, Mel Soldera, I love her, Minx for All, love her, Leo Lion LV, Have Louis Will Travel, I hope Nastasia will do it, Nastasia M53, and finally I want to tag Hey June and Shay Whitney as well. Hopefully you ladies will be able to join in the fun and let us know what were your worst luxury buys. And yeah, I guess that is it for this video. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for dropping by. I hope that you do subscribe by clicking that subscribe button below and that notification bell, because I do post several times a week. My first video is always on Monday though. That's all for today. I hope you guys have a great day and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye!